Hey, thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today's the 21st of May, 2014. And thank you all for all of your wonderful wishes for my Mother's Day. I really, really loved it, and I'm glad that you liked the video. I'm going to try to do some more of those outside ones because I get it that they're really fun to watch and it kind of shows different areas. So now that I realize a little bit how I can do it and that you guys are patient and kind with me, anyway, I'll try to do some more of them. Today, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. Someone asked me some different questions, and so I looked up my house that I grew up in that I love. It's really my home. And this is just a little bit about my life. It's not, where I grew up and stuff like that. I grew up in Park Ridge, Illinois, which I think I've told you guys before. And I'm going to put a link to my exact house. We didn't have red shutters and we didn't have a red front door. But that's where I grew up, except that if you look at the house on the right side of it was gone. We had the whole corner lot with a big thing with bushes around it. And I'll show you kind of a picture of it. Let's see if you can see it. But we had a big oak tree in front of it that's gone now that I used to climb up in all the time. See, there's my house. That's how it looked when I lived in it. And see, you can see over on this side that other house wasn't there. And that was just a big lot. There's our screened-in porch that's gone now, but it was there. And we used to love to hang out there in the summertime because there's a lot of mosquitoes in Chicago, or there were when we grew up, and all kinds of other bugs. So my parents built this screened-in porch so that we could hang out there and eat dinner out there and stuff like that. And we could feel the breeze, but we didn't have to worry about getting bit by the mosquitoes and stuff. And this is kind of a picture of it later. See, you can see that the screened-in porch is gone and that other house bought the property. But it was a really cool house. It really was. I really liked it a lot. Also, two of my friends really helped get me some new cards to pass out. So I'm going to show you these. There you go. I pass these out all the time because I found rather than, talk to people and blah, 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 try to educate them on all the abuses of the Church of Scientology, it's better to just hand them a card. Say, hey, here's the information they won't tell you. Because Scientology, you won't. And that's the thing that I always say to people. You got to ask yourself, when people say, only look at our side, what's wrong with that picture? Because every critic, every ex-Scientologist, every independent, every anonymous, anybody who's outside the Church of Scientology, whether they were ever in it or not, if they're speaking about it, they can say, look at both sides, make up your own mind. Because we know if you look at both sides, you're going to you're going to make the decision that's correct for you. But we also know that they can't let you look at these sides. So this one I've got xenu.net on it, xenu.net, xenutv.com, my YouTube site, this one, and TonyOrtega.org. Those are the main ones. At the bottom, I have the Scientology. See, so you can see I got Xenu on there. What they won't let you know. Ask about Xenu. Find out about Scientology at these critical websites. And I want to thank my friend Spanky and also Tom for helping me get these cards put together and just getting them for me because I like to give them out a lot, and I know they really help people a lot to find the sites that are helpful. It's a lot easier than it was in the old days when, like when I first escaped out in 2000. I don't know, there wasn't that much. It was really hard. The church had really, really, kept everything underneath the rug and stuff like that. So there was stuff, but it was kind of hard to find. But now, thanks to everybody and all the people that have been speaking out, it's really a lot better. So anyway, that's a little bit about my life. Oh yeah, this is the other thing. This is why I made this video, because someone asked me, didn't you grow up near Skokie? Because Park Ridge is right near Skokie, Illinois, and that's where the first McDonald's was. And I said, yes, I did. And he asked me if, my dad, who is a famous football player, and blah, 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 if we ever went to this McDonald's. And I said, oh, yeah, all the time. And the funny thing was back when and I've told this before, but if you haven't heard it, it's a funny story. Back when we were kids, my mom was home like every other mom, cooking all day and making wonderful dinners and stuff like that. McDonald's came around and they had, I think, 10,000 hamburgers they'd sold at the time. And we were like, 10,000 hamburgers? We can't believe it. So we went there. Of course, we thought they were delicious. So then we started down this whole thing where we'd be bugging my mom. Oh, we don't want to have roast beef. Can't we go to McDonald's? You know, oh, no, not this. Can't we go to McDonald's? And my mom, being very smart that she was, invited this guy over who'd been in a German concentration camp. We had never met someone, everywhere and where we lived, they looked healthy and they were healthy. And, it was a pretty, affluent suburb of Chicago. So it seemed like everybody was doing fine. And we were kids. We didn't know any different. So all of a sudden, this guy comes to dinner and starts telling his stories about living in the concentration camp. Now, we didn't know my mom had set this up and asked him to do this, but he just scared us to death. I mean, it was just really scary. I mean, it was really gaunt. He had really, really deep eyes. And he talked about how he only got to eat rice and water 3 times a day. Anyway, we ate dinner, we finished, we were all scared to death, and he left. So now the next day, my mom's baking, I don't know what, whatever, pork chops or something. And we're like, nah, pork chops. Can't we go to McDonald's? And my mom goes, remember Mr. So-and-so? Well, tell you what, I'm going to put you on his diet that he ate, that he told you about, with the rice and water 3 times a day. And then when you want to eat my food, when you really want to eat my food, you come tell me and I'll cook for you. So we started out with the rice and water for breakfast and rice and water for lunch. I'm not sure if we made it through one day or not, but I know by the time, very, very shortly, we were like, we love your cooking. We love your cooking. I mean, it was one of the greatest examples of how to handle kids. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that because someone asked me about it online, and I thought rather than try to type all this out, I'll just tell it on a video. And it's kind of a funny story anyway about McDonald's, which I don't recommend eating at anymore. But at the time, we definitely loved them. And the food is very tasty. There's no question about it. Whether it's healthy or not, that's another thing. So I don't eat there, and I haven't in a very, 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 very long time. It was part of what helped me lose 100 pounds, was stopping eating at all the fast food places. The only place I eat is Jack in the Box, their chicken fajitas, because they're only 8 points. They're very low in points compared to all the other ones that are like 27, 30 points, something like that. They're really, really high in fat and not healthy for you. So anyway, there you go. That's a little bit about my life. And oh yeah, and that tree, that big tree that you saw, this giant oak tree in the front. My mom sent me a video of me. I used to scramble all the way up to the top of that tree. And I remembered I used to climb way up there and I'd sit in that tree all the time. And I don't know what I was doing, but I'd be up in the tree all the time. I'd climb up and climb down. And she finally sent me a video. And if I can find it, I'll put it on the net. But it's funny as heck. I look like a little monkey. I'm just like zooming up the tree. And I'm sitting up there. And then I just zoom down. It's pretty amazing for a little kid. But anyway, there you go. That's a little bit about my life. And I hope your life is great. It's Wednesday. So there you go. Have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of the week. Bye-bye. Peace out.